All right, so yeah, should be good. So the part we left off, right? We're listening just to posts because that's all I really care about. Let's run the server. A little curious why I didn't just leave it running. Let's add just a generic keyword. Anime. Because you know anime is getting mentioned. So this hints at a flaw in something we're doing in matching this stuff. Oh, no, we got some matches. That's fine. Okay. So here's something I want to do, right? We need to create a Slack bot. We're going to create a custom testing workspace. All my fault, Cast Dev? Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm stoked. You know what we should do? All right, we'll finish this album. We'll put on some Time Cop 1983 after this because I just got a ticket to go see him on Monday. And then we could put on some Magic Sword after that because I got a ticket to Magic Sword as well, which is going to be Friday the 28th. So yeah, I'm kind of pumped. Yeah, I've never actually gone to a synthwave show, so I'm a little curious what that'll even be like. Oh, I didn't actually look at where these events are happening. I should have looked. Whatever. I'll see both of them anyway. I hope it's not. Uh, I hope it's not Numos down by the stadium. I hope it's Numos in Capitol Hill. Yeah, it's got to be. Venue, Numos. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Oh, yeah, Numos only has one venue. Sorry. I was thinking of Showbox that has Showbox Soda. But yeah, I just let a friend know as well. So yeah. Real quick. Okay, how about this? Hose. I want to avoid anything with the word tube in the name for reasons. It looks like pipe might be the only other word. We'll just, I don't know, call it, if we're sipping from the fire hose, hot funnel. I don't know, man. We're not having to name the product. My name, sure. Skip this step. Testing Slack bots. Limited free version. Okay. So we've got a channel. How do we create a Slack bot? I don't want Slackbot doing that. I want to create my own Slackbot. Well, okay. What if we had Slackbot do it? But create a custom bot for Slack. Welcome bot. Sure. Developing automations requires a paid plan. Join the developer program. So I can't sign in with my Gmail for this one, huh? Okay. Well, let me just do this real quick.
Now, wouldn't you like to be?
There's probably nothing I need to hide, but yeah. I mean, postal code's probably not a big deal. right, activate developer account. Oh, okay, so I don't know what this means. Interesting. So you can't make a custom bot without paying for it. Interesting. Yeah, the zip code's not anything I need to hide. People know I live in Redmond. I don't care about the AI whatsoever. For $7, it's probably worth it. Nah. Like, it's nothing crazy. Like 98052 is pretty large here in Redmond. Like, it's big enough. And they're like, I'm not in a house, I'm in an apartment complex, and there are like a dozen apartment complexes nearby. So yeah, nothing got leaked. So hold on. How does if this then that work? Right? Like developer docs wise. All right, let's actually start hammering some of this out. So if I were doing a planning.md, right, let's kind of like create our dream list of features. So, right, core, listen to firehose, and send notifications. We would need feature wish list. Immediate notification. Batched notifications. Let's do this as integrations or notification types. email. I mean, we could list SMS. Slack, Discord. I'm thinking IFTT. If this, then that. Zapier, webhook. I'd say those would be all of the things I'd want to support. So then if we do this, right, MVP, I almost think webhook would be necessary. All right, so we'll call that good. Feature wish list, immediate and batch notifications, notification types. Yeah, we can keep it simple. Yeah, for sure. That's how I would do SMS. There's also, you can do SMS through Vonage, I believe. There's a couple providers for SMS stuff, but Twilio is probably what I would go for. Yeah, see, so you can do SMS messaging, you can do WhatsApp even, right? So yeah, there's a couple providers to look at. I would probably go through Twilio, just cause, like, I've dealt with Twilio before, and it's really not that crazy. Email to SMS? Wait, what does that mean? No, firehose is AT protocol, so blue sky. I would never use Firebase. You'll never see me using Firebase on stream unless they pay me to do it. And it'd have to be a pretty good chunk. I think it's a bad idea. There's too much vendor lock-in, and it doesn't do what I want. Oh, so individual cell carriers have a different thing? Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah. Okay, so that's not a bad one. Anything. Like, what part of Firebase are you talking about? Right? Part of the problem is that Firebase is too much stuff that isn't the best at any of it. Are you talking about for auth? Are you talking about for database stuff? Are you talking about for hosting? Like, yeah, all of those have different answers. And they all depend on the product I'm building and blah, blah, blah. In pretty much every case, it's anything but Firebase. I am fundamentally opposed to it as a product. For auth, I'd roll my own or try out one of the other providers that focuses purely on auth. For storage, S3. So yeah, I find that a bit annoying. You can't even just test your own custom bot. So then let's get back to things. We're going to close that tab. We'll close the developer sandbox stuff for now. Oh, so custom responses is a different thing. So, yeah, that's annoying. We could get 3 months free and then get to fiddling with it. We could also just start doing it with Discord or something, right? Because Discord bots are free. Okay. So yeah, we'd end up creating messages, right? That's not a big deal. Yeah, so sending messages is all we'd end up needing there. So this might be part of why Discord has really won out compared to Slack for like game servers and stuff. You can build your own Discord bots for free, whereas Slack wants to charge you money. Okay. And realistically, I could just do it as an email. So this is maybe the order I'd want to do these in, right? We could do email first, just to prove out the MVP. Then Discord, Slack, webhook stuff. I'm definitely gonna want to do the Slack stuff eventually anyway, though, right? So figuring out how to make a Slack bot, that does sound really fun to me. I don't know. We've got time to decide on that. We don't have to make the Slackbot decision today. Sending an email, we could set that one up pretty quick using Mailgun or Mailjet or something. So yeah, I'll think about that. Ooh, I think I've forgotten how to do environment variables. Right? Like this we'd definitely need to change eventually anyway. Yep. So then runtime versus prod. I don't think I remember what those differences are. But yeah, here in dev, this is only ever going to be the dev secret key base. So that's actually okay. And then at runtime, these things get configured. Okay. I have not updated yet. Why? What's in the latest update? Oh, Safari? No, I don't use Safari at all. You mean the new IE? They changed the UI for tabs in Safari and it's stupid. Yeah, sounds about right. Okay, so I want to give some Time Cop a listen to because it's been a long time. I thought I had some Time Cop. I'm thinking of a totally different artist. I don't know if I have any Time Cop. I could have sworn I had some time cop. There's too many of these synthwave artists that just have like a name and then put a year after it. So I've got Shredder 1984. I've got Cartridge 1987. Yeah, how do I not have any time cop? Well, we'll go put some on. It's that easy. Oh, I think they do a lot of singing, don't they? Whatever. All right, let's give this album a try. Oh. So I need to update Firefox like ASAP, huh? All right, well, let me do that real quick. I'll need to do it on my other machines too. I mean, I need to update Firefox anyway, so fuck it. Whatever. I didn't realize how many Firefox windows I had open. What? Where'd those come from? I think we got all of them. And hold on, let me just send a quick work message. You can control your iPhone from Mac OS now. Uh, I guess. Yeah, that sounds sketchy. Ooh, and yeah, okay, so Time Cop's good. I'm liking this. So yeah, we'll pause that. We'll close that. Yeah, I don't know, Chaotic. Maybe they're trying to corner the market for like the scammers that have like 50 phones on their screen at a time, right? Oh, to cheat at shooter video games with your mouse. There you go. Trying to corner the market on NSA backdoors. There you go. Okay, so... Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Yes, we don't need to worry about the config stuff for now. I was just thinking about like how we might want to like start managing keys. We don't even need to do that part yet. What I think I actually want to start doing is let's do some database design. Now, hold on. Is there like a good extension for doing schema stuff? I don't know about installing 13 databases or 13 things. So DBML? Anyone here used DBML before? Oh, that's kind of nice. It's better than managing these by hand. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, and then you just do the references. Ah, this is nifty. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay, so we'll do the DBML stuff. Right, so this dude doesn't maintain it. That's fine. I feel like this one should handle the syntax highlighting for us. Yeah, let's do it. All right, so then we could open up that on the side. No tables found, but that's fine. So then, yeah, let's start doing this. Oh, I'm already messing up, huh? Because I don't... Yeah, I don't know this stuff. So table is the keyword, right? So we'll do team. We could call it org. Organization, sure. Oh, interesting. So ULID versus UUID are both stored as varchars anyway? I don't like that. Why would you do that? This is a really bad idea. They should just be chars. No, no, no. It's, what we're doing is our database design. So yeah, we're going to be using Postgres. Okay, so if we look at it, so this one actually supports like all of this stuff. Okay. It's the cons. Uh, what version of Postgres am I on right now? I think we're on 18. No, we're on 17. Cool. Hmm. This does get a little annoying. Let's look at it this way. Are we going to have IDs in the URL? I don't think we are. So at that point, it doesn't even matter. So we could just run with integer IDs if we wanted. Mm. And yeah, I just don't think we're going to hit any level of scale where the performance is going to be that important. And if need be, we can always just migrate. So we could start with integers for now, and then make that decision later, after we start building out some of the UI and stuff. And yeah, I do want to get back to Walter, and we need to get that launched because I want to consume Walter into the thing that we're going to be building. So yeah, we'll just do ints for now. I think it's fine. So yeah, ID for an organization, name. I don't think we need it to be unique. Yep, I like that. So then table user. And yeah, I also just don't think we're going to run into sizing issues. So making it a char 255 doesn't break anything. As far as password hash, though, I'm probably going to want to use some auth service, right? I don't know. We're doing a little bit of just like database creation. Just because it seems fun. But the main gist is I want to listen for keywords from Blue Sky and send notifications when some of those keywords happen. Maybe, not always. Depends on how you want to normalize your data. Right? Instead, you could do something like table user verification, right? And instead of email, right, this would simply have verified at, boom. And I think I like that better anyway. Now, the ID, yep. User ID, yep. Now, this might be where the verification key might be on the user verification. Another option is that we don't need user verification if we do, if we only do OAuth, right? So Oscriptor, that would actually go on the the keyword. So yeah, we don't have to like set any of this stuff in stone yet. So instead, what if we do something like table, we'll call it keyword. I don't know if that's the right thing yet. Value, char 255, created at, updated at. Keywords would have an org ID. Right, and then notification, this would end up being something like notification type. Now, how much do we want to normalize that data? We'll say keyword notification type. I swear it's listening to me. So yeah, then this would be type ID. That would not be unique, though. Right, so then just imagine you want to have, like, number one, it wouldn't be unique even per organization or whatever, right? Because maybe you want to set up 2 email notifiers. One that's batched and goes out to a bunch of people, and another that is you get an email every single time or something, right? Boom, no problem. And that's where someone could maybe set up their email to SMS. Sure, why not? I think, we'd still want to do email to SMS separately. And we'd probably also, like, when you add an email, like, notification type, you'd want to verify ownership of it. Yeah, I'm not sure how, like, the Slack or the Discord part would work just yet. So yeah, we're just heavily incrementing. We're like brainstorming a bit. We can auto arrange these. Zoom out. We don't have anything tying them together yet. So we'll do that here in a bit. But yeah, like the idea being you could simply just add a notification type, and that's where they would set the emails and all that stuff. Yeah. For email and phone numbers, absolutely, 100%. I'm not sure how like verifying a Slack or a Discord message would be though. But yeah, I want to make sure that we're not allowing people to like spam shit to people, you know, because because that would get us kicked off of a whole bunch of platforms. So yeah, that might actually be all we need there, and then we'd want to do like the ref stuff, right? Oh, and we could even create a table group. Yeah. Well, we'll do the ref stuff first. Ooh, we want to name these tables like they would be named in the actual database, though. So we'll call it org user and from here we would do ref Oh, yeah. Well, no, hold on. We don't want to do that. So we would actually have like table org users, right? Because you can belong to multiple orgs. Yep. So org user, org ID. I'm not sure how to actually write this bit. But hold on, let's actually just let's vibe code this. All right, so let's do an auto arrange. How does that look to us? Yeah, that was a good album. All right. Good job, Time Cop. Let's give another Time Cop album a try. And yeah, Time Cop's also going to be playing with Droid Bishop at the show on Monday as well, so we could give some Droid Bishop a listen. I know I've got some of that somewhere. Okay, so yeah, we're not done yet because, and yeah, I don't know if the order of these matters. But we would want to do something like that if we don't have it yet. Yep. Yep. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I got a lot of singing with the midnight. I think they laid this out weird. So then, yeah, we'll do a table group. Um, Looks like color is kind of simple. You just add that as another prop. Yeah, this is my first time ever using DBML, so I kind of like it. But it doesn't like that. Oh, that's weird. And yeah, we don't put it in quotes. So that was Super Maven not knowing. But DBML diagram preview doesn't do the table group stuff for us. Oh, God. Cannot edit in read-only mode. Well, get out of read-only mode. Oh, I gotta sign in. Oh. Sure. So let's see if I just did this wrong. Oh, so you gotta be on a paid tier? Dude, what the fuck? Nope. Oh, it does look like you can do refs just that way. Oh, okay. See, I didn't need the brackets necessarily for the refs. Oh, run sequel seems cool too. All right, so hold on. Let's just look again. DBML. We've got this one installed, but... Oh, wait. No, that one's good. So then it's maybe this, which is no longer supported. But that shouldn't matter for the visualizer. Oh, this album's killing it now. All right, well, let's try that one. Ooh, the other one was definitely prettier. I hate how much singing Time Cop tends to have on their albums. Oh, and I already made like a cardinal sin. I didn't actually name these things plural. What was I thinking? Yeah, it was running just in VS Code. Yeah. So we can hit preview. Could not parse input. I think they're complaining about the ref syntax. Table keyword does not exist. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, so that thing's just totally broken. And hold on. Thanks for sharing. You might need something like DBML soon. Yeah, I mean, like ERD diagrams are nice. I hate editing the diagrams by hand where you're just drawing it in something like draw.io or whatever. So I wanted to give DBML a shot because, allowing, even though it's not working, right? We can reinstall this one, restart, and then we can go back to here and see the preview. And then auto arrange, and then you're not having to like do too much like individual like in these things. I don't know. I like a file that you can just edit instead. All right, so then here we can hit auto arrange again. It's not perfect, and I wish it was able to do the grouping, like, this table group syntax. I do wonder if table group is specific to something else, though. But maybe I need to capitalize it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so we saw it not capitalized elsewhere. Doesn't seem to help. So yeah, it shouldn't be language specific. Yeah. I wish it had table group support. That'd be nice. Oh, so table group is case insensitive. Got it. Yeah, that's annoying. Oh, interesting. And I could just do that. All right, so instead of manually creating the org users here, Hmm. So this is actually not what I was going for. Yeah, no, I still think creating the, what's the name of this table? God, alright, I hate all the singing. Is this a join table? Lookup? No, it's not a lookup table. I forget the name of that. But, yeah, I don't know. We need it. It's just not good at auto-arranging it. Like, if I were to do this... Is it a pivot table? Maybe? Yeah, maybe pivot table is the name. Yeah, and really, like, as long as you know what you mean, you're good to go. But yeah, I totally forget the name of this kind of table, where it's just for, like, many-to-many relationships as the intermediate table. Oh, Shreyas. Because I want Elixir, or the Beam VM's, actor model by default, right? Like the fail fast, but spin it back up model. I know, you were actually just kidding. I'd prefer a kappa on statements like that. Maybe you even had a kappa and I forgot. Yeah. But in my opinion, if you're considering Elixir for the specific, I thought it was a join table too. I thought it was a join table too. Yeah. Whenever you're making a joke here on Twitch, add a kappa. Because nobody can understand sarcasm on the internet. And I simply think you know me well enough that I don't just blindly pick things just because they're popular or whatever. I pick the right tool for the job. So if I'm picking Elixir, you should probably assume that I've got a reason for needing the Beam VM. Yeah, I actually think it isn't. And that's especially why it isn't. Like, just imagine you're on a dating app and some girl's name is some very obvious, like, could be turned into a pun of some kind. Don't do it. Don't make the pun joke. They've heard it 1,000 times. Same thing goes with memes and streamers. Right? Do you think you're the first person to do it? No. Chris Griffin, like the guy from Family Guy? All my life. You know, like, there's no escaping it. But okay. I kind of like this. There is most likely going to end up being like a user settings table or something. Ooh, see, I don't even know those memes, Kyle. Oh, yeah, there you go. Omar. Like Omar Sharif? Yeah, exactly. Damn. Yeah, it's actually funny how those like really common jokes get old extremely fast. But yeah, streamers and a lot of those like memes, same thing. It's like yelling "I'm Rick James, bitch" to Dave Chappelle just randomly on the street. Do you think you're the first person to do that to him? It's a real quick way to have him not want to engage with you in any way whatsoever. That's actually something like if I was somehow involved in Hollywood, but like no one knew me kind of thing, but I could make like a prank show. One of those pranks would be going up to celebrities and being like, hold on, let me think about what a good example of this might be. Going up to Ron Perlman being like, "Oh my god, you're the guy. Oh, you were in that you were in Ice Pirates." You know, like name just something extremely obscure that they've never heard of, or like that they've heard of, obviously, but like no one's ever mentioned before. That would be fun, right? You see Jennifer Aniston, like, oh my god, oh, you were in Leprechaun, you know, because they get the stuff from like Friends and all the other bullshit. But like, how often has Jennifer Aniston been had someone come up and say like, you were in Leprechaun, right? That would be really fun, actually. I think that would be kind of cool. I think that would be really fun. Oh my god! Oh, like you don't even know their name. You see Brad Pitt, and you're just like, oh, I recognize you. Oh shit, where do I know you from? Oh, that juicy fruit commercial. But yeah, I think this is as simple as our database needs to be. So we got keyword notifications, keyword notification types. Yeah, so database design wise, how do we want to do this where like certain notification types are going to have different like fields? Mm, so it's almost like notification types would relate to another table. Hmm. No, we're not going to do JSON blobs. I'm sorry. No, thank you. No, the right way would be to design this right, and I just kind of want like I need the practice anyway. I haven't done any SQL database design in a long time. Especially like this kind of like polymorphism. Like I've been using Dynamo in most of my projects for the past like 3 years now. For anything like more complicated, at least. And even then, I just didn't have the polymorphism to deal with, so it's not a problem. So yeah, what are good patterns for polymorphic SQL design? Yeah, shit, where the cracks in SQL show. Oh no. Yep. I hate how every other song has singing on this album. So yeah, just a giant single table. Gross. Right, you can create the base table. But yeah, like the queries for those would suck. And then obviously they want to sell us on TypeDB. No, thank you. The super type model. Okay, so real quick, what time is it? 4 o'clock. Perfect. Plenty of time. I do believe we are gaming Baldur's Gate 3 tonight. I'll have to double check with the friends just to be sure. So that'll happen around 6 o'clock. And I believe we are really close to the final battle. Like the final battle. So then we'll have to figure out what game we play after this. And technically, no, Dead Island 2 is probably the answer there. Yeah, so basically just imagine that we have keywords we want to listen to and notify in a certain way. We're going to have keyword notifications that will be configured separately from each other. So then realistically, well, okay, what I'm thinking is basically we would end up having a table per notification type. So it's not necessarily keyword notification types here. This is more of just a lookup table. But then what we'd end up wanting to do is then have like a keyword SMS notifications, and that would have like the individual like fields that we care about for these. But yeah, no matter what, we need to have like a types lookup because that's going to fill out like a drop down field or like when you're adding notification types, right? And depending on how dynamic we want the forms to be, we could even have the database dictate the form fields, which makes our front end logic a lot simpler because then we just build a form builder. But yeah, that might be the move. So then, yeah, keyword notifications, keyword SMS notifications. We'd probably put like the type after, right? So keyword notifications underscore SMS. And then that would point to the keyword notification. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had to design something like this, but I think that's the move. So hold on. Let's do it. Even though I got to pee. It's not types, it's keyword notifications SMS, right, as an example. So then that would point to a keyword ID. We wouldn't need the type ID because type ID is here, right? But then phone number would be the unique value. And then we could then do the same thing, email, and that's the unique value. I don't know what it would look like for SQL, or not for SQL, for Slack or Discord. Most likely it would involve a channel of some kind, but yeah, those would also maybe get polymorphic. But this at least would be something we could do. And then we just want to create the ref. And what did we call it? So hold on. This is pointing to keyword ID. We want it to point to that, so it's keyword notification ID. Wait, did I name these wrong? I didn't make those keywords, though. Oh, they're overlapping. That would be why. Air brakes. Okay. So yeah, then here we just do another ref. Boom. And thank you for the follow, Yusha. So then, yeah, we can auto arrange. Wait, what's up here? Oh, keyword notifications. There we go. Yeah, so it doesn't, like, it's not laid out in the way I'd like it. But it does help us, like, visualize how these things connect. I am liking this. Yeah, no worries, Shreyas. Have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. I am liking DBML just for the sake of identifying, like, oh, did I forget to connect those things? Like, it's just a good, quick visual indicator. And then we have this thing that we can share, but I'd probably want to, like, move some of this around better. So orgs and users would go there. Org users would go there. Keywords and that. We do there. Wish I could drag and select more than one at a time. But then, yeah, like this would end up fanning out and we'd have a bunch more. Really, like keywords might go like this. And then, bam, we've got like a good layout here. Can it generate migrations? That I don't know. I don't think that's the goal because it would like we only have a single state. So to generate a migration, you'd have to see the state between the two things. And yeah, like it'd also be like really language specific too. So I think you'd have to have some other tooling on top because this is just about this DBML file and the representation of it. So it's not maybe identifying that gap. Just imagine like not having to build out your ERD diagram to get sign off on your design by editing individual stuff like draw.io, right? Yeah, right. So if we just did create new diagram and then we're starting to, do some of this BS and having to create these and do all that junk, right? This is way worse. And then all like your source of truth is in here rather than like just some code. I kind of like this. It's my first time using it, so I'm not 100% on it yet. But I kind of like this. And in fact, we could even do like that. Or maybe put it between like that. I think it's kind of nice. Yeah. I don't know. Still not 100% sold on it. But this is just a visual representation of what's here, so you're no longer like manually connecting this stuff. I like that idea. But this is my first time ever messing with it. But yep, later. Have a good one. Let me get another album going. And yeah, I'm going to use the restroom, pour some more water, and I will be right back. And yeah, how's everyone doing today? Ooh, okay, so yeah. One thing that we'll want to do before I forget is, yeah, email here. So this is where maybe the status of it, right? Like, verified at. So we'll want to do that for all of these. That I don't know. Ooh, let's call it good, right? So we click save. Let's close it and visualize again. So it is maintaining that. I'm not sure if it would persist on like a full extension restart. That's a good question. I like that. Yeah, that's some good experimentation right there. It does. So my guess is that it's up in... Well, no, it's not build. We don't see a VS Code folder. It's most likely storing it somewhere, but I don't know where. Yeah, it's not in a .vs Code folder, so it must be in like the extensions folder somewhere. No, that's not what I'm seeing here, right? Like, I don't see any way of exporting it. Let me try and zoom out a little. Yeah, it's just auto-arrange full details. That would be nice, being able to export this diagram. And it doesn't seem to have like a save as or anything either. Yeah. So that's one like major flaw in my opinion. But this diagram preview extension is open source. So we could always get in there and figure out where the SVG is being stored. And then you could just do an export. And that might be worthwhile. Right? And then maybe like as you make edits to this, it would just like once you've done a save and it's linked, it would just auto update it and you could push. That would be cool. I actually really like that. I really like that idea. Yeah, exactly. No, that's really smart. Yeah, we're putting that in the Trello board. So what's the name of it? DBML something? Yeah. No, I really like that. That's a good idea. All right, we'll get rid of PGRX for now, even though I think it's something I'd want to do at some point. All right, like using ULID instead of like numeric IDs. I'm not sure I'm too worried about it, but it would be nicer. So yeah, I don't know, something to think about. All right, I do want to keep the Vercel Commerce stuff. Yeah, we're going to have to go through the archive here at some point. Oh, and I need to give that... Yeah, I need to give them a link so they can buy that eventually. So we'll leave that. But yeah, we'll have to go through our tab archive here again soon. But okay, so I think I like this database design so far. Let's start building it out. It's actually not so bad once you realize that everything from here to the right is the working session, and everything from here to the left is the archive. All right, so Elixir, Phoenix. Let's go to the docs. Hey, what's up, Bystar? I mean, I've done it before, right? Like the chat overlay below me, that entire backend is Elixir, which I attribute to not having had to touch the backend or reboot the server or do anything with it for like 3, maybe 4 years now. No, I got you. Yeah, it was probably maybe before you started watching stream. But yeah, I built that entire like application on stream before. It's good for a lot of stuff, for sure. But yeah, since it has been 3 or 4 years, yeah, I'm like catching back up on how to do a lot of this stuff. So I think what I want to do first is then mix Phoenix Gen schema. I don't remember if I want to do the context thing yet. Oh, and the notifier stuff. I haven't looked at the notifier thing. Hold on, let's go back up. Oh, hold on. So instead, yeah, I want to do gen JSON. That's it. Yeah, okay. And yeah, I think in the past when I did a lot of this stuff, I ended up just copying and pasting some boilerplate. But I think it's fine. All right, so let me zoom back in so you guys can see this stuff. Let me pour some more tea. I think we could do a lemonade as well. Without overdoing it. But yeah, starting new projects really is the most fun part of programming, in my opinion. So yeah, I love this bit. Yeah, we're not going to mix them. Arnold Palmer alert. We could mix them. It's not a bad mix. When I worked at Timberline Lodge, there was definitely one of the maintenance crew who would always come in and get an Arnold Palmer, which is funny. Planning a new project? Yeah, I do less of the planning aspect. Like there's definitely like a point at which like you're over planning. You know? So at that point, you just got to start building to figure out like whether your plans are even accurate. There you go. Choosing tech stack? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, in my opinion, most of the time the tech stack gets chosen for you. Ooh, but you know what? I kind of like that where we don't even necessarily need to wire up the notification step. We could also just have a page that shows like the things too. And we could limit it to the most recent amount, and that could also be part of like the billing tiers. Yeah, the billing tier stuff I think is going to be the tricky bit. Exactly. I like to try new stuff too. But it still tends to like determine things, right? Like the way that I need this to like fan out. I want like individual processes for all these things, but I don't want to manage like what server handles those processes. So sure, there might be other ways to do it, like using nats, like nats.io, or we could just use Elixir, and then the processes don't matter. They could be on any server we want. So yeah, there might be many ways, but as far as like the simplicity of things go, right, the less moving parts, the better. And Elixir kind of handles reducing the amount of moving parts for us. Yeah. So, like, just for certain things, I think certain things make more sense. It doesn't mean it's the only right answer, but it makes more sense than other languages. Like when Shreyas came in here joking, why not Rust? Because to do what we're talking about with Rust, we'd have to set up some middleman message queue system for the fan out process. Whereas with Elixir, we can just do it, you know? So I do kind of really like that idea. Oh yeah, we did change it. Yeah, it's just a configuration thing, SwagDev. We can switch it back. Not Hacker News. Stream Parrot. Yeah, I was just like demonstrating how easy it is to change that stuff. So yeah, instead of DOS, Arch, by the way. And yeah, that'll update within 30 seconds. We're just doing polling. I didn't think setting up a WebSocket was necessary. So yeah, it should update any minute now. Maybe Go closer candidate than Rust, sure, but you can do the green threading stuff with Rust just as easily. There are libraries for that and everything. But you'd still end up, like, if you wanted to horizontally scale in some way, you'd still end up needing some kind of middleman for the message queue system, right? So, yeah, no matter what, the Beam VM is really the only thing I think that solves this problem in that way. Right? Without having to care what server is handling this, right? Without having to set up a middleman, we just fan out and we let the supervisor system and the Beam VM farm it out to other processes. And then it's just easy. So yeah, I think there's certain very specific things that some languages do better. But if you don't have those kind of constraints in mind, it doesn't matter. You can make it at anything. Right? But you'd be shoehorning it unless you have a specific use case for an Elixir problem. So basically anything where you'd want to use a message queue, you could just use Elixir instead. I guess, hold on, this is also something I'm interested in. And this is where I'd need like an Elixir expert to let me know. basically, I want to have Postgres running on just one of these machines, but still locally. And then as I fan out, it's still just that one Postgres instance. And then using Postgres from any of the horizontally scalable instances, they would still send back to the process that does the Postgres part. I think there's a way we can do that where we're still shipping all the exact same code, but making sure that the supervisor only spins up one instance of like the database process. That part I'm less sure of, though. My guess is that it ends up living somewhere in like the children definitions. But that I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to think about that a lot more. Because, yeah, I'm not an expert with Elixir. I've built some stuff, but nothing complicated enough. Never done it at a company. Never had to deal with, like, web scale, you know? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Baishtar. Like, what I was saying is the chat overlay, I haven't had to touch that server in any way whatsoever for like 4 years, maybe 3. But I think it's closer to 4. That's kind of insane to me. Yep. It just sits there plugging along. Now, I did over-provision it. So, yeah, like, for the amount of users it has, like, oh, man. Yeah, it gets crazy. What about Clojure? So anything JVM-based, I still don't think solves the problem the way the Beam does, because the JVM is, like, unique to its own, like, instance. OTP is technically the secret sauce. Touche. OTP is the secret sauce, which is the message passing. So any process, whether it's on a different server or not, it doesn't matter because you're just passing a message between them. Whereas with the JVM, like, there may be some OTP implementation for the JVM, but it's not like the default. You could do this with Akka or Scala using the actor model. Okay. Yeah, to me, it's just that the Beam VM is OTP by default, which then becomes like really just, you don't have to think about wiring any of this stuff up. It's just wired up. And I think that's the part that really sells me on it. Sure, like there are languages, there are tools that you can do all this stuff with, but then like you're doing all of that like manual setup that you get for free with Elixir and Erlang in general. I think that's the thing that I'm really like focusing on for this. But again, I'm not the expert. God, I like this song though. All right, so what we want to do is something like this. We'll do the fields here in a minute. Oh, I didn't know that, LG. So that's yet another reason why I would prefer Elixir. Because it's part of like the core DNA of Elixir, whereas Gleam, it isn't that way yet. Okay. Well, now I got a little more ammo for when someone asks me, why isn't Gleam ready yet? And when I say ready, I mean ready for me. Ready for application devs. I think if you are a library developer kind of person, Gleam is totally ready for you, right? Like you should totally start building out libraries and making stuff. And it's a nice language, but yeah, like I don't want to build every library from scratch. It's just not the kind of dev I am. I avoid not-invented here syndrome almost religiously. Actually, I kind of liked that. So accounts user users. And if we look at our schema, right, we see name and age. I think it's going to do some of the other stuff for us. But yeah, later, cast dev. So what we'll do is just name an email, and then if the other stuff isn't there, we'll add the created at and updated at. But I believe the primary key will be created for us. And what's up, Mike? How you doing? Hey, been a little bit. Oh, and Danielle, dude, thank you so much for the sub. Is it still free on Xbox Game Pass? Because if so, I'll play it. I didn't actually like this year's. I was actually a little bummed out. I was not a fan of the past year's The Show. There's something about it that made it feel like way too grindy to get like the good free cards. Oh, so it's not going to be on Xbox Game Pass anymore? I find that a little tougher. How do you feel about 25? I mean, I wouldn't mind playing it still. I'm wondering if maybe it makes it to Game Pass later? Yeah, 23 was fun still. I think 24, I wasn't as much of a fan. Yeah, 1 second, Otman. Yeah, the grindiness. Exactly, Preacha. Yeah, they made it way too grindy. They got rid of sets and seasons and reverted back to programs. You're not over the moon excited for it? Interesting. Yeah, I guess we don't have a good project command set up for this either. So yeah, Opmain, basically what we're doing is I want to listen to the Blue Sky firehose and notify people when certain keywords they're targeting get seen. This is going to be a project we end up dog fooding one of my other projects on. That project is currently called Walter, and I haven't pulled the trigger on a name for it yet. I'm thinking Wadham. Yeah, for sure, Mike. And I don't know of anyone doing it yet. Bare minimum, I think we could use it at work. Because we have a channel for like Twitter, like tags, but instead you wouldn't even need to be tagged just if someone mentions it. You literally bought a domain about it? Ooh, I haven't made a domain for this yet. I don't make a domain until I have a product that I'm like close to launching. So now it's a race, I guess, Mike. You like Giphium? Yeah, Giphium's fun. So dog fooding is basically like using the thing that you're building in some way. Looking for collaborators. Yeah, that could be a thing. Like, I definitely want to bootstrap. Yeah, no, I could definitely be into it. I'm curious, what domain name do you have? Because, yeah, I just did a brief lookup for synonyms for, like, firehose and stuff. Because I was creating, like, a fake Slack channel, like, just so I could test doing the Slack stuff. And for that, I called it Hot Funnel instead of firehose. Oh, tram stars. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. You'd love to change that each GIF stays longer, because if you put good code versus bad code, it could be... Okay, no, so it is open source tram stars. Bare minimum, you could go create an issue for it. But also, if you want to add that functionality, you can do that too. Yeah, bare minimum, please create an issue for what you're looking for, if we don't have one already. Yeah, so animation timing settings. I think that's exactly what you're looking at. No, so we've already got this, but maybe like just add a comment, because I don't have much data in there. So like explain your exact use case, like how long maybe you want it to pause on each one, and then maybe also how long you want it to take between the animations. Those are like the things I'm thinking, but yeah, just list out what your use case is. And I'll edit the description saying that as much. Like, I have not put much thought into this yet. Please leave comments for your specific use cases and how you would want to change. Oh, I didn't know they have this create sub-issue thing now. Oh, that's cool. Oh, dude. Yeah, it's crazy to me how much like GitHub is still like iterating on and improving the platform in ways that like you'll just randomly notice something new, because they're changing so much so quickly. Like, you'd never catch everything first. Like, you know, like they're changing so much, like a changelog wouldn't even be useful. You found it? Yeah, what's your domain name? Yeah, that's crazy. Like, you buy a lot of domain names, don't you? Like, holy shit, dude. Firehose.bot? See, I don't like using anything that's not a .com. I'm not sure it matters that much, but yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to think about it. And even then, like, maybe we don't even want to necessarily make it like like firehose specific. But yeah, you're looking for a Blue Sky equivalent. Yeah, I use F5bot too. And I know they have like a paid version, but yeah, I'm almost like thinking we're basically making like an F5bot competitor at this point. So adding other like sources to listen to is right up my alley. Blue Sky would just be the first, right? Like the MVP. I know, right? Yeah, exactly. And I would probably be looking for a partner with it at some point. I'm building it with Elixir, so I'm thinking fly.io is the place we want to put it. But man, there is that like Cloudflare, Cloudflare Workers Incubator or whatever, right? Launchpad, that's what they call it. So yeah, I don't know. I have other stuff I want to build for this. I think Elixir is the better pattern for this because workers are not a good use case for like some massively persistent thing like listening to the firehose. So I don't think it's the right platform for this. And could you imagine how expensive Cloudflare workers would get? $10 million requests a month. Like, how many messages are happening over Cloudflare workers, right? It sounds like a lot till it isn't, but then 30 cents per million is also just not a big deal. So you would scale with however many messages are going to Blue Sky. That would be your initial like baseline. And then from there, for every keyword that you're listening for, that becomes like a worker invocation too. And that's where it gets expensive real quick. How many posts are made to Blue Sky per month? Yeah, I don't think this would scale right. Wait, what is CCA? And yeah, let me get another album going. I'm gonna go see Time Cop 1983, so I'm like listening to a bunch of their stuff. Oh, and this one's without all the singing. Yeah, I'm gonna buy this album for sure. CCA. Okay. Yeah, because, like, keep in mind, this is not per month. So, like, that billion, that's, like, over the entire time they've been operating. You know? If we consider they've been going for maybe 2 years. A billion divided by 24. That ends up being 41 million messages a month. A billion is just such a massively large number. So yeah, you would be looking close to like $20, right? Somewhere between 15 and 20. And then it just keeps scaling from there. I think that ends up being way more than what we would do VPS wise. Okay. Right? Because a VPS, nah, it's just a WebSocket, man. Who gives a shit? I guess it depends. Let's look at Fly.io's billing. Well, the goal would be to actually, like, would we want to be, like, fetching all keywords we have to listen to from the firehose listener? That I don't think so. I really do feel like every message would have to be filtered at the Cloudflare level, like per keyword that you want to listen to. Wait, do I have to use their calculator? Everyone loves a calculator. So let's just say 3 machines, 1 core each. CPU type, sure. RAM, I don't know. Let's just say 512. Volume size, we could get away with 1 gig, I'm sure. I don't think I would actually want to do Postgres like that. I just host it myself. We don't see how much bandwidth they would be charging for. No, I'm pretty sure Fly.io is definitely where I'd want to do this. Just because they are like really like Elixir native. Deploying Elixir to Fly is really, really nice. No. Like Elixir with 512 megs of RAM is really easy. Gonna need 500 gigs a month just for the firehose. That's inbound data though, not necessarily outbound data. Like, do they charge for inbound data? Have a bunch of outgoing bandwidth. Like, we're not going to have a bunch of outgoing bandwidth, only incoming bandwidth. Yeah, so Mike, like the database would be the thing that needs the most RAM, right? Elixir itself, dude, super light. So yeah, we may end up just picking some other database system or using one of theirs. I don't like their pricing page because it leaves some of these things like, well, how much is inbound bandwidth? Self-hosting a platform as a service like Coolify, like there's no need for that. Like there's absolutely no need for that. I think Coolify is great for certain use cases. I don't think Coolify is the right choice for something Elixir based, because the entire point of Elixir is I want to be able to fan out horizontally. Coolify benefits from scaling vertically. For something like this, I want horizontal scalability, not vertical scalability. So it's just a different use case. I think there is definitely stuff I might consider hosting with Coolify, but also I'm not that averse to hosting a VPS and managing a VPS. I don't like, dude, managing a VPS is easy. Again, the thing behind my chat overlay is just an EC2 instance running a single node of Elixir, so it didn't need to be Elixir at all. It was just what I decided to use back then because, I don't know, I am a bit of a fan of Elixir. And not just Elixir, but like Phoenix. I think Phoenix has a lot of the defaults that I prefer. I really like Ecto as like the query builder and ORM, you know? I like the repository pattern. So like really Phoenix's defaults align with a lot of my favorite defaults as well. I like how they say the patented, but not actually patented. Patent pending. But yeah, I just wish their pricing page was a little more explicit. Favorite Elixir learning resource? I don't. I just built stuff. So, like Mike, basically, you might remember I have this tool called Proficientim, in which I look up a word like guardian, or how about this? Let's do hose, or no, fire, and we'll search for domain names. Aggressor hose, air dry hose, anger hose. Ooh, anger hose is good. Not for this, but that's solid. These are fully available domain names right now. Blitz hose. Ooh, blitz hose is good. So yeah, basically I look up synonyms for a word and I combine them with a prefix or a suffix, and then I check to see if those TLDs are available. I built this originally in Node.js, and I think it's still using the Node.js server under the hood. But my favorite way of learning a new language is taking something I've already built in one language and rebuilding it in another. So the reason I really liked using Proficientim for that was it needs a REST API. It needs to be able to do a whois lookup in some way, maybe via a library or maybe a command line call. It needs to do a fetch request to third-party APIs. It needs to store stuff in Redis for caching purposes. It needs to parse XML and JSON, because one of the APIs I'm doing synonym lookups in is XML and the other is JSON. Like, so it checks like 6 boxes of things that I just need to do, right? So basically, I built this in, like, I built the original in, like, 2014. Like, the Node.js and the React app it was In 2016, I rebuilt the front end in Angular 2 just because there was that Angular 2 hack day and Angular 2 was brand new and fresh. And I wanted to, again, I like to rebuild something rather than build something from scratch when I'm just trying to learn something new. Because then it's like, you know what you need to do. You just don't know how to do it in the new thing. If you can eliminate the what part, the how is really easy to focus on. So then using that same mentality, the back end is Node.js, but I rebuilt that same Node.js API and all these things that I need to do. I built it in Rust, Go, and Elixir. And I timed how long it took me to do it. It turns out the Rust took me like 21, 22 hours. The Elixir took me around the same time. I think the Rust maybe took me 23. The Go took me 19. But the Go felt like it took longer because I ran into the same thing every new Go developer is going to deal with when doing JSON stuff. And my struct wasn't capitalized, right? Like all the props on my struct for the JSON serialization were lowercase, which means I wasn't getting any data back because of the whole capital versus lowercase bullshit in Go. Yeah, classic Golang. Classic Golang. And I still think Golang needs a training wheels version of the compiler to warn you about things like that using reflection. So yeah, even though the Go was quicker, it felt longer because I was stuck on this one thing that was super fucking annoying. But basically, yes, I learned new languages by just rewriting the same application, so I don't have to figure out the what, I just need to figure out the how. So then it ends up just being syntax lookups and figuring out what these errors mean and all that stuff. So I don't try to pick favorites. It really depends. If I'm just trying to hack something out, I'm going to do it in Node.js first, right? Just because I'm a JavaScript developer for the majority of my career. But if you've seen any of the projects I work on, like the feature flag tool or whatever, like I'm comfortable building in any language. So then you have to really start thinking about the constraints of the thing that you're trying to build. If I need something that needs to scale horizontally and I don't want to set up a message queue, I'm going to use Elixir. If I need to do AWS Lambda stuff, currently I'm using Node.js, but have you seen the cold start times for Rust? I might heavily consider using Rust for all my Lambda stuff in the future when I finally build out a new framework around it. So yeah, like I don't like to pick favorites. I find much less value in being a fan of any of these things and then simply just understanding the criteria you use to pick one. But because of that, I'm always sitting on the fence. People love someone with a strong opinion about this shit. I have a strong opinion about not having strong opinions. Until it comes to like very specific use cases. If you're just saying in general, it's impossible. Exactly, K. Martinez. Yeah, like these things will just, they require different things. Like, it's the way it works, you know? But yeah, so do they have frequently asked questions? Pay-as-you-go infrastructure. Sure. Okay, resource pricing. So there you go. There's the machines. Started, stopped. Reservation blocks. GPU, storage, network pricing. Data transfer. The following types of traffic are free. All inbound data transfer. So, yeah. This is like most companies have free inbound data transfer, which is good. I just wanted to verify this part. So yeah, our bandwidth concerns for fly.io, super small. But if we were then hosting something on Fly and fanning out to Cloudflare, that's where we'd have a huge problem. So yeah, like just the Cloudflare workers launchpad is just not a good use case for this, or our project is not a good use case for that. We will build something that applies to the launchpad. I'm currently thinking a dub.co clone would be pretty good. Right? Like basically dub.co, but also allow it to be something you put in front of like API stuff. So you could almost do like run scope style stuff as well. I think a dub.co that combines run scope style like monitoring would be massive. Like monitoring and debugging. But yeah, you know, I got ideas, man. I'm an ideas guy that decided he wouldn't ever be able to afford people to make this stuff for them, and I had to figure out how to do it myself. So yeah, I think Fly.io is still like the right choice for hosting this. Because we can scale to 0, or not fully 0, but one instance would be on 24/7, and then other instances could spin up as we need them. We're not going to need GPU. I don't think we're going to need performance machines. Because I don't think we're like CPU bound. We're basically just going to be doing regular expressions. Those are CPU bound things, but right, we're not calculating Fibonacci or some shit. Yeah, I really think we'll be able to get away with starting off with like one shared instance. We might do it as a 2 shared CPU instance and then do a gig, and it's $7 a month. I think we'll be able to get away with that for a long time. And we may vertically scale a little bit because that price difference there is really nice. Just going from 2 shared CPU cores to 4 shared CPU cores, that's really nice. And I think we'll need at least a gig just for the database stuff. So yeah, to me, Fly.io's pricing and some of the stuff they're doing for you really does feel like it feels like it fills a good void. And we could even theoretically start thinking about, I forget the name of it, but there's some like Phoenix thing that would allow you to like spin up an ephemeral machine quickly for some stuff. I don't know if we would actually need that. I think we'd just need to do horizontal scaling. This is where I'm starting to question some of it. Like if we just ship Postgres ourselves rather than using Fly Postgres, I think we'd be better off, at least in the short term. And then if we need to migrate to fly Postgres, we could think about it. But yeah, like, you know, spinning up Postgres within the server. A gig feels like a lot. We could actually get away with less if we just did SQLite instead. But yeah, I don't know. All right, yeah, let's keep going with this part though. So yeah, accounts users. When we look at users here, it's name and email. So let's go look at what got generated for us here real quick. And where do the migrations go? I think it's over here in priv. Yeah. So then creating users here. There's got to be a way for Ecto and A. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. And I hope that didn't dox you. But yeah, thank you for the comment. Yeah, no, I like this. We could totally work on this at some point. If anyone else wants to take the reins on this issue for Giphium, just let me know. All right, so I need to pop open Elixir, Ecto, docs. Where are the migrations? So inserted at, updated at. Yeah, hold on. So then in our schema, it's not created at, it's inserted at. But good enough. And then updated at is what we were seeing anyway, so that's fine. All right, so we see string integer as far as the schemas go. Hold on, we're seeing change set somewhere. No, that's not it. So types and casting. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we don't see char. Oh, and we want to do the type spec stuff for sure. Yeah, where are migrations? What's up, King Coffee? How you doing? What's up, Hunar? How you doing over there? Hunar, no, we're not using Gleam. Yeah, the title is, it should be updated. We're using Elixir, not Gleam. Because Gleam just doesn't solve the problem that I have. Oh, we're still looking into ATProto. That part's the easy part. Yeah, we've got like the listening to the ATProto stuff for sure. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out the right data type to do a char instead of a varchar. So we can say string size 40, but does that still create a varchar? That's the part I'm concerned about. Yeah, at the cost of like extra storage space, I just want to like, I want to avoid varchars in every case I can without having to like normalize the data into like an entire separate lookup table, you know? But Hunar, yes, I heard about TypeScript, though. Sounds cool. So char is only seen in 2 places. So I think I would just do char size 255 like that. Yeah, we're using Elixir. And Phoenix. Yep. Yeah, how you doing, Frackery? Yeah, it's been a little bit. So then I think we're good. Okay. So yeah, it's just that simple. Yeah, Elixir's good. You know, depends on what you're trying to do. All right, so before we get going too far, ecto migrate. Oh. Oh, it's ecto dot migrate. All right, so then if we go explore that database, not Postgres directly, but pgadmin. Sounds like it's playing on an old tape deck. Yeah, that's the entire purpose of synthwave. So Hunar, heard about TypeScript Go. Rust stands are breaking apart from the fact that Rust wasn't picked for it. You're convinced the team privately tried to implement in Rust, but recursive types is what made it hard and switched to Go. So Hunar, maybe. Polymorphic types are massively easier in Rust. So I think that's the interesting part. Like, how does TypeScript Go handle polymorphic data types, right? Like discriminated unions. Because it's not something that Go supports natively. So I do think there is a little bit of concern there. But at the end of the day, the difference between Go and Rust for something like that is going to be minimal. Because the TypeScript compiler is basically like a one and done. So garbage collection isn't even that big of a problem. If it was a persistent service that always stayed running, that might be a concern. But the compiler, right? TypeScript itself is just a top to bottom evaluation and you're done. So I don't think Rust is a good choice for that because memory leaks don't matter. I doubt Go would even leak any of the memory, but like, yeah, the safety of Rust is less important for that exact use case. You could leak as much RAM as you want, as long as the server completes and the process is killed, that RAM gets freed anyway. So, boom, like, whatever, man. Like, how much garbage is even going to be collected by the Go garbage collector before the process exits, you know? Like, what's the fucking point? So garbage collector or GC overhead doesn't even matter there. But yeah, name a better combo, right? Rust zealots and thinking it's the only proper choice for a thing. I went to the very first Rust conference and they had to say at the conference on stage, stop telling people to rewrite it in Rust. You're making us look bad. They didn't say that verbatim, but that was the message. Because the rewrite it in Rust crowd is insufferable. Yes, in 2016, since the very first Rust conference, it was already a meme. And the organizers and the entire community were having to tell the loudest people in the room, stop telling people to do that. You're making us look bad. The very first Rust conference? That I don't know. Because it wasn't part of someone's specific talk. Not that I remember. I think it was just like a public service announcement kind of thing. Yeah, I don't remember if it was part of a specific talk. I missed most of the conference. If you talk to anybody that went to the conference, they might recognize, well, yeah, there was some dude passed out on one of the couches. That was me. I had the biggest fucking hangover. One of the hotel security people came up and was like, are you supposed to be here? Because I had all of my stuff because I had to check out of my hotel room. So I had like my bag and all that shit. And the security guy's like, are you supposed to be here? I was like, yeah, dude, I just have the worst headache. And I showed him my badge and that was it. All right, cool. Have a great rest of your day. Hope you feel better. I might have looked like a homeless person. That's fine. I get it. I may have looked like a homeless person. That's kind of my aesthetic. I wasn't that much younger. 2016, 8 years ago, so I was 32. That's not that young. I know, right? Couldn't grow a mustache back then. No, so Danielle, this was already like up on like the 3rd or 4th floor in their conference room and all that. But yeah, like a homeless person managing to get in there. Not something you'd put past Portland. No, it wasn't the lobby. No, this was like up near the conference room. Oh, and Hunar, you might not realize, like, me having a mustache is actually a really rare thing. And I'll probably end up shaving it here kind of soon. It's an experiment that I conduct every couple years. Like, technically, I try and do it once a year during, like, No Shave November or whatever. This is the best it's ever been. Like, I tried a while back. I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago. It was all right. Didn't have the gray. But, yeah, basically, I didn't get to try it. Like, most recently I did it, but the year before I didn't get to try it because I was looking for a job. So, right, you know the meme, dev with a job, dev without a job? Web developer with a job, web developer without a job. Web developer without a job, clean shaven. Yeah, Jason, I remember you posted something and you said your kids were like scared or like who is this guy? Maybe that was your wife that said it or something, right? I do remember you like posting a photo and it was crazy. Yeah, basically Rick Rubin. Everyone was like, dude, grow the beard back already. But luckily, you've got your genetics, so it took you what, 3 days to be back at this phase again? So yeah, Hunar. Yeah, now like facial hair is not a thing in my family. I haven't shaved my cheeks in over a year. I just don't have to do it. It's like the finest peach fuzz. If I did start shaving my cheeks, I'd have to start collecting it and maybe turn it into like a pillow or something and sell it for like $1 million as the softest pillow ever made. Yeah, you've heard of Goose Down. What about Chris Down? The $1 million pillow. No, Frackery, I'm just a naturally hairless ape, right? I think it just means I'm more evolved than you. Wink. I'm kidding, by the way. Come on. That's not what that means at all. It's a good joke, though. Yeah, I don't have to shave much because I'm just more evolved. And I'm balding on top of my head, just that my supercomputer has all this like surface area for air cooling. Right? Like consider my giant forehead is just like a heat sink. So you guys with full heads of hair obviously don't need the cooling. I'm just bullshitting. It's just a fun joke to make, okay? It's just genetics. It doesn't matter. It's one of the most meaningless things you can care about. But maybe that's a good tweet. Hold on. How do we feel about it? That's a good joke, right? Obviously, the people with full heads of hair aren't overclocking. I wear the beanie just to keep on your guys' level. And I'm bullshitting so much right now. It's just good shit talking, okay? Anyway, let's just double check that. I wanted to look here in PG admin. We'll call it local connection local host Postgres. Sure. This seems like way more stuff than we need. But yeah, here we go. Users. Columns. But yeah, Jason, how you been, man? Like, how's your stuff? Like, you know, at the new company you're at and all that, without trying to dox you. But also, you should try and see if Algebro ever wants to hang out. You know, you guys are near the same area. All right, so it is char. It got defined properly. Nailed it. All right, we'll call that good. So yeah, we need to just start scaffolding out all this other stuff. We're gonna have accounts org. We're gonna call it orgs. There's a name field, but I don't think we have that. Oh yeah, Jason. I'm almost positive that's what they named it after. Yeah, little Timmy found the marble in the bowl of oatmeal or whatever. He gets to sip from the fire hose. And yeah, come on. If you're on Twitter, I'd really appreciate it if you could do whatever to boost that tweet, because that's a solid fucking tweet. I know I'm probably shadow banned in some way, but you know what? Fuck it. That's a good tweet. I should have done it in all lowercase with no punctuation, right? And if you're on Blue Sky, well, I got that link for you too. Just give me a sec. Well, I do really like how PG admin here gives us a bunch of this like measurement stuff. That's actually kind of cool. That's kind of cool. But let's go look at our schema here. So we got users. Orgs is just name. And can we just do char? Nope, we can't do that. Ooh, char is no good either. So we just got to do string and then change it later before we do the migration. Ooh, I forgot we replaced the word sudo. Yeah, good call. All right, so create users, create orgs. This ends up being char. Wait, what is it? It's length, right? Size, not length. NA, thanks you guys. Hey, Danielle, appreciate you, man. Hey, oh, thanks for the sub. We did it. We hit 10. I should start doing something when we hit the 10 out of 10 like goal, right? Like, should I get up and do some exercise or something? I did save, right? Yeah, cool. All right, so we've got create users, create orgs. So then it's org users. Org user. And yeah, hold on. Did we see the error they gave earlier? Oh, references. Ooh, yeah. How do we do the references thing? So yeah, Elixir, Phoenix, mix, references. Oh, so okay. Album ID references album is how that would work. And yeah, thank you all for liking the post, even commenting. Yeah, hold on. Let me get another album going. Does Synthwave belong in a museum? Junior? So then org ID references orgs. And then user ID references users. All right, let's go look at those. Oh, yeah. So yeah, that's a junior dev. What about a senior dev? Well, what would the mid-level developer look like? The mid-level dev is the one filming, obviously. Credit carding 5 feet in the air. There you go. Oh yeah. They somehow step on the rake in midair, right? So it's basically the senior. Oh, if I could type. It's basically the senior, but the stepping on the rake part happens midair somehow. Like it defies physics, just like mid-level devs. I'll just like it. Yeah. But yeah, damn. Kyle Shevlin even replied. That's cool, man. Let's switch to T. Wow, yeah, we're getting close. Hold on. Let me double check with the crew. All right, so yeah. Looks like that generated a thing. Let's double check. References, users. Yeah, on delete, we do nothing. Yeah, into it. Nailed it. Okay, so yeah, it's been a long time since I've done this, and I think I did a lot of these like references things by hand previously. The fact that we can actually just scaffold it, that's really nice. That's really nice. All right, so let's keep going. All right, so we did table orgs, table org users, table users. Let me double check this where they were telling us what things they support. We could just do date time. Interestingly, I don't see date time in there. So we'd have to maybe call it UTC date time. Oh, references user ID is a thing. But the org doesn't matter. And then, yeah, the table that we're making is user verifications. I'm not sure splitting this out was actually necessary. We could have just put this on the user table. As someone mentioned earlier, I think I was just pointing out that status is not always on the user. All right, so I already broke something. What did I break? Oh. Oh, so hold on. The on delete, is that if we delete this record or if the user record gets deleted? if the referenced entity is deleted. Ah, and it's not Cascade. It would actually just be delete all, not cascade all. Today is Thursday, right? I didn't like mix up the days of the week or something, did I? Damn, I love the fact that it's creating all these like indexes for us too. Like, yeah, man, I like Ecto. I like a lot of the value and power that it brings. Damn it, hold on. It is Thursday. Okay, cool. Cool. I know, right? Like, dude, daylight savings, right? That's totally it. Meanwhile, next week, St. Patty's Day, I'm going to have to get some Irish whiskey. What's a good mixer for Irish whiskey? And actually, no, I won't be able to have that much Irish whiskey because I got a concert on Monday night. So I'll have to have the Irish whiskey there. Ooh, ginger beer? That would be if it was a Scottish holiday. But it... see, right? St. Patty's Day is an Irish holiday, not a Scottish holiday. Come on. But okay, no, so we're good there. Oh, I like the fact that references creates this. I thought references would create the indexes for us automatically. This is something I've messed up in the past because I don't remember creating indexes by default. I thought creating a foreign key and using the references thing would do that automatically. So I've got that as a bug in definitely some other Elixir code I've written. That's a bummer. All right, so next we're going to have keywords, and they are going to be org specific. But it's going to be like a separate module or whatever, right? So this is keywords. Keyword. Org ID is going to reference, and yeah, oh, I messed that up. Yeah, it's actually just orgs, like that. So then the other fields that we need would be value. That ends up being a char 255 as well. Right, so we just got to do string, and then we got to modify migration first. I keep forgetting that. I wish you could do that here, and then if you just did char, it would know. Ah, shit. I forgot something here, though. So mix ecto dot down. Yeah, PG admin. So I don't actually want to drop. I just want to roll back before the user verifications and then add a field to the verifications. Here we go. I mean, okay, so we're not sure yet. I'm going to go use the restroom. Yeah, like I'd be stoked to finish Baldur's Gate 3, but also like Worm's still not feeling well. And damn, like that's a long time. He's been sick for like 3 weeks. Like that's fucking gnarly, dude. So I don't know. Totally up to him. But I have to pee, so give me a sec. Okay, so is it rollback? Oh, Hold on. So down and rollback. Do all of it. Yeah, so this is part of the problem. So mix ecto migrations down all. Is it mix ecto rollback? Oh, they do have it there. Ooh, good catch. Oh, so I can pass dash N. There it is. Thank you. So it's ecto dot rollback. Interesting. Yeah. Thank you. That was definitely a huge help. Yeah. And I need to just have like this page done. But it looks like James and Worm are about ready. All right. Oh, I'll let James finish typing. I don't know, Alien. Does it matter? Do you actually think 5 years in the future? I barely think about next week. How many times have you thought 5 years in the future and actually thought the same way 5 years from then? Like, it doesn't matter. Nah, I think it's pointless. I think you're worrying about nothing. Sounds to me like you don't actually want to be a programmer. So then don't do it. Are you just getting into it for the money? Yeah, you're not going to have fun being a programmer anyway, so find something else. Right? Can you just recognize that your previous statements were these AI agents are so fucking overhyped by people who never coded in their life? So how did that change? Or are you just kind of trolling? All right, so that's our next step for tomorrow. We've got keyword notifications SMS, keyword notifications email, the types. And yeah, how we end up doing these, like, I'm still not sure I like this abstraction, because, like, what is the SQL, like, actual query going to look like? That part I'm less sure of. Like, those queries are going to be a pain in the ass to write. Yeah, that part I don't know. So it would be nice to have, like, a day to stew on it and think about it. But I don't know if I'm actually going to make a major decision about it tonight anyway. But a day to stew on it would be nice. So then, yeah, database design-wise, we're going to have notifications, but I don't think I necessarily want to jam all of the polymorphic fields, such as phone number or email, into just a notification. So then how do we want to actually create our database design for that? And we could do something as gross as just having, like, a details field and making that be JSON. But that's just too gross. I don't like it. I don't like it. So yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to think about that one. We're going to have to really think about that one. Yeah, I don't know. But who's streaming right now? Oh, we see Zayu going. Yeah, making a Discord-like chat. Perfect. Yeah, let's go do that. So we're gonna go raid Zayu, because I want to hop over to some gaming. Yeah, we know for sure that you've got this copy and paste bullshit, that you're really concerned about Alien Musk. Can you just recognize that the guy who said that has a massive fucking bias in all of that, and he's still hiring software devs at his company? But again, Alien Musk, you had a comment a week ago. No, sorry, 2 weeks ago about how shit these tools are. Do you think that's going to change in 6 months? Yeah, I don't know. I just consider it bullshit, and I think you're trolling. So, yeah, I'm kind of tired of even trying to chat with you about this shit, because you just seem doom and gloom. That was not you. Dude, I clicked your name and I saw it. On November 24th, 2025, your exact statement was, these AI agents are so fucking overhyped by people who never coded in their life. And I mispronounced those words on purpose because you left out letters. That is you. I can see your entire fucking chat history. How are you trying to deny that at this moment? That's a little insane. But also, it just seems like you're trolling, dude. It just really seems like you're trolling. I don't care. Find someone who wants to entertain your bullshit. That was your friend on your account. Yeah, exactly, Donkeyfish. Totally. Yeah, it's rude because you seem rude. And that's fine. I don't care. It does seem like you're just trolling. You don't follow the channel. You're just here to spread some fucking doom bullshit. I don't care, dude. Either do it or don't. It obviously seems like you don't want to be a programmer because you're looking for every excuse to not be a programmer at this point. So don't do it. No one's forcing you. Be a fucking plumber. There's always going to be a need for plumbers, man. Boom, there you go. I think the world would be better off not having another programmer that's just in it for the money. Uh-huh. I don't know. I'm pressing X to doubt right now. Because every programmer knows that there's a massive bias to that CEO. And I'm already feeding the troll by answering your questions. No, you just seem like a massive troll. The lack of a follow is a major heuristic. You seem to only come in here chatting about AI bullshit. It's getting really boring, dude. All right, so YouTube, thank you all for hanging out. I'll be back here tomorrow. Hopefully, Alien Musk won't. But yeah, later, YouTube.